Hello my loves, I'm Ellie Frost. If it's your first time on my channel, we talk here about a metaphysical and integrated approach of rapidly and radically healing and transforming from particularly narcissistic abuse cycles, but it could be any transformation really. Metaphysical meaning I'm a spiritual teacher, I'm a healer, I'm breaking down complexity and giving you wisdom on how to, almost like modern day wisdom, on how to apply spiritual principle and context to enable you to have an elevation of consciousness and awakening, as well as integrating different modalities of healing, personal development, psychology, learning into a very easy approach and modality really, so that you can apply them to your daily life and rapidly, radically transform and heal, especially from the chronic after effects of narcissistic abuse, which degenerates the body physically, emotionally, spiritually, energetically and psychically. And today I want to talk about forgiving the narcissist, right? Because this is a very loaded concept. What I'm going to teach you is always going to be simple for you to understand, implement and embody, but the actual concept of forgiveness is a very loaded one for us, subconsciously, spiritually, and psychologically. So let me just go into it, right? The reason I'm saying it's loaded is because it holds a lot in our subconscious that we're not aware of, right? Our subconscious is basically a system of beliefs and programs that inform our behavior, actions, emotions on autopilot that we have generally, mostly actually, established before the age of 7. And it really just indicates to us how, and it forms beliefs around things like how the world works, who we are, what we get to do, be and have, and amongst other things. So we want to consciously reprogram our brain, because then we can start reprogramming the subconscious in order to support the life we want to live, right? The one that actually supports our desires, our dreams, our goals. And trauma massively messes with all of these systems, because when we are traumatized, we make a very strong energetic decision, and those decisions form an undercurrent. That undercurrent could be impending doom in such a way that you live in, a state, even when you get away from a narcissist, of always expecting the worst, always expecting something to go wrong, never quite trusting in life, in people, in the universe, right? There's so many things that trauma does to dysregulate our ability to take control of our lives and our minds, although we can break free of all of them. So forgiveness as a concept is something we kind of taught to do as kids, right? You do something naughty, mum or dad is going to say, can you go and apologise to him or her? You often, when you are a kid, aren't sorry. Maybe that person annoyed you. You've acted on your truth, which is maybe to do something that was a little bit naughty. And now forgiveness is this thing where you have to you have to go and apologise, and the person has to forgive you. Someone's told someone to go and do something, and you're told, sorry, I've probably said it the wrong way around. If you've done something naughty, you get to go and apologise, and the person is supposed to forgive you. But none of that's genuine, all of it's forced. So we're not really taught about forgiveness. And then we've got scriptures and religion telling you, well, to be spiritual, you've got to forgive, and you're not really evolved until you're living in this beautiful Zen forgiving state, and it's misunderstood. So I want to banish the bullshit and demystify some myths to set you free. What forgiveness does is it sets you free. Forgiveness is for you, not the other person. So when we're forced in the playground to forgive the bully, because that's what we're taught in parenting, it doesn't form the best idea in our brains around it, because forgiveness is actually for us, so that I am not haunted by this anymore, that I set us both free. Forgiveness is not something you can force. It's something that as you continue to heal, it's a natural, again, thing that you will come to, because you'll be able to let go of what happened. But I'm very adamant in my teachings to face your reality while we heal and manifest our desired reality, not avoid it, because this chronic avoidance of our reality that we're taught to do in manifestation and psychology is a huge problem. And it creates a lot of resistance in the body, in the mind, and actually blocks manifestation. So we actually have to be honest with how we feel. And knowing that I teach my clients how to bridge gaps in their energy and in their process, spiritually, emotionally, physically, all of it. And to bridge a gap would be something like saying to myself, I'm willing to forgive. Yeah, I'm not there yet. I'm checking in with my body. Can I let go? Can I forgive this yet? No. Okay, that doesn't mean your life can't move forward. It doesn't mean you can't manifest beauty. I've just got to, first of all, what I teach all the time, these concepts that I teach, one of them being self-partnering and self-focusing and actually having a fantastic relationship with yourself, not a relationship with yourself when you've healed, when you're something you think you should be, actually where you are. And that could be as simple as, I'm willing to forgive. That's my intention. But I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to work on forgiving because that's not where you are. Forgiveness is a natural process as you elevate. Like self-love and self-respect is the more we become sovereign, so is forgiveness. But you don't force this journey. Yeah? You allow this journey because it's your natural state. So where am I? I'm willing to forgive. I'm not there yet. Okay. That's where I am. And I'm still willing to forgive. I'm not going to write out I forgive 100 times when I don't yet. I'm going to work on my self-love. I'm going to work on my sovereignty. I'm going to work on healing my symptoms. I'm going to work on myself. And then I'm going to check in again. So we don't force it. We self-partner and we work through the other things I teach you, which is about really forming a fantastic relationship with yourself where you are, so that then you can naturally gravitate towards these higher concepts, which naturally happen, right, as you awaken. And awakening starts from coming within. Forgiveness is a loaded subject because actually subconsciously the little inner child in us holds on for a number of reasons that we don't see. Yeah? One of the reasons that we don't forgive, believe it or not, is a subconscious imprint that comes in because our inner child feels like if I forgive this, it doesn't matter. You might relate to this, right? Just it's not something you think consciously, it's in our bodies, but it's very common. Where when we've been abused, right, it feels like if I forgive this, I'm letting you off the hook. And there's these sticky attachments around this concept, right? That it's like if I don't let, and again, some of these things we actually subconsciously keep us sick because it's like if I heal from this, it lets them off the hook. If I'm not suffering from this, they won't know what they've done to me, and no one knows what they've done to me because a lot of abuse goes on in the unseen. So we do have these kind of subconscious enmeshments to our own suffering, which are things like that, where it's like, I don't want to let it go because then it won't count. I don't want to let it go because then it's like it never happened. And so what I teach you all the time is you forgive, but you never have to forget. Yeah, this isn't about denying what happened to you. It's about setting the person free to not, setting yourself free ultimately, and not letting these events, what they did to you, really like hold you in chains. And it's a journey, it's a process. I'm willing to forgive, meaning I'm willing to let go and set them free. I'm accepting the truth, which is that they were operating from something that I'm not willing to accept in my life anymore. Forgiveness does not mean I allow this in my life. That's the biggest thing, again, that's misunderstood religiously. People think that forgiveness means I've got to accept this behavior in my life. No, you don't. You get to get it out your life. Yeah, but forgiveness actually means I set us both free. I stop being attached to this and allowing it to be something I hold on to in my emotions, in my energetic field, in my state of being. Yeah, I release it now. It doesn't concern me anymore. It's kind of that energy. Yeah, I'm not holding on to hate or spite or needing revenge. I'm not wanting the world to see it. I'm not denying it happened, but I'm letting that person out of my energy field. That's what it really means. Yeah, you can know it happened, but they're not an energetic attachment. I'm not seeking revenge. I'm not seeking justice even. Honestly, when you get to forgiveness, you're not even seeking judgment or justice because you know the divine will take care of it karmically. But you're disattaching completely from that person, from those situations, and from those events. Yeah? I set us both free from this. It happened. Yeah? It wasn't right. But now I need to go free. It's that, but you work on being willing to do it. You understand the stickiness of it. You understand how you've been forced to forgive people that you weren't ready to forgive, and that's been our culture, and that's not really that healthy. We've got to evolve on this planet emotionally. And just being willing to understand that forgiveness is for you, it's not for the other person. You're not gifting them your forgiveness. Yeah, people say, I need your forgiveness, but that's just about Oh, I need closure. No one, narcissists will never give you closure. But if you need closure, you're not disattached, because when you've actually made peace, and forgiveness is just like making peace with the whole thing, which is very hard when you're still traumatized. So work on the PTSD and trauma release and emotional healing that I teach you. But like, forgiveness isn't something you force or fake or you have to do, or you're not spiritual if you don't have it. It's a state of awareness that is natural when you come into this elevation. And it's just basically acknowledging that this is no longer of concern to you. You choose your peace and you let it go. You let it go, not forgetting it happened, not agreeing with the behavior, not forgiving the behavior even, just letting that person no longer attach you, letting that circumstance no longer define you, allowing and accepting that it happened, that you can't fight it, you can't resist it, it happened, and now what? It happened, yeah? It no longer has any control over me. Yeah, and that's also the journey of sovereignty. Like, it's a natural thing that happens when we start processing the guilt, the anger, the shame. There are stages of grief, right? Because we grieve what we were before all of this. And those stages are things like anger, denial, bargaining, depression, that then bring us into acceptance and then hope. So it's a process the whole time. We can't skip steps, but by being available for all of it, then the steps can go much faster in the work I teach. Sovereign, I'm going to open again in May, and you'll be able to have a payment plan now to get in when I open the doors. It's such a great journey. So sending you a ton of love. I hope you can feel my energy of this. I hope this helps you decompress. I'm actually holding a space for you to be able to put into this portal, into this space, things that you're ready to let go of and let them shift. So if you hold that intention with me now, let it dissolve and transmute through all time, space, dimensions and realities. Everything, every attachment and enmeshment that's no longer serving you. May this be a place that you decompress, can put it in there, energetically let it go, let it fly, let it be, and come back into you. Lots of love. I'll speak to you soon.